In the last video, we started discussing with you options for what direction the plot of future episodes of the Amazing Digital Circus might take. I have a few theories about what will happen in episode 6. The main characters will take up arms and face off against Gummigoo's mom and the crazy butcher. After episode 6, the relationship between the main characters and Caine will completely change. Let's start discussing all the theories about what might happen in future episodes. In this video, I'm intentionally skipping episode 5 because it won't play a big role to the global plot except for developing Ragatha's character and learning about her backstory. On Tumblr, a user recently asked Gooseworks if episode 5 would feel the lightest in terms of overall mood. Gooseworks confirmed this assumption. She said that the 5th episode will be the calmest and lightest in terms of mood among all the episodes. She also added that many people will call episode 5 silly before the storm. So I want to move on to the more unusual and frightening assumptions about episode 6. If episode 5 is silly, then episode 6 is the storm. What I am certain of is that in episode 6, all of the main characters will have to rethink their time in the digital circus in a big way. This will happen because the new adventure will be much more violent and frustrating for each character. After this adventure, each character will probably feel like Pomni after the 2nd episode. In the new adventure, the characters will have to have a real battle with most of the NPCs. During this battle, the circus team will have to use firearms. I say this with confidence because I've known an interesting fact about episode 5 for a while now. On Tumblr, a user asked Gooseworks to describe each episode that will be released in the future with just one word. It's important to note that this post doesn't include random character quotes, but key aspects of each episode. These are Gooseworks' comments for each episode, starting with episode 2. We can see that episode 6 is described using the word guns. We have already seen that different kinds of guns can appear in Digital Circus. If the different weapons in episode 6 are of such great importance that that word can describe an entire episode, then I can conclude that we will see a lot more guns. We also know that episode 6 will focus on Jax. How exactly will Jax's character reveal in the new episode relate to the new weapons? I'll start with my first theory. You all remember the unfinished 3D stadium model that Caine showed us in the new episode's trailer. Most theories say that this new location will be used in episode 5. But what if I told you that the stadium is needed for an adventure in episode 6? Furthermore, I think it will be an adventure that Jax will suggest. In episode 4, we saw a detailed, though not entirely obvious, reveal of Gangle's real character and backstory. And in the last episode, all the characters except for Kinger went on an adventure that was created by Caine, based on Gangle's suggestion from the suggestion box. By that analogy, I can deduce that episode 6's adventure will probably be based on Jax's idea. According to this theory, the stadium will be more like the Colosseum from the Roman Empire. In this arena, the main characters will be fighting NPCs. I'm leaning towards Jax offering an adventure where the main characters will get the opportunity to get revenge on all the annoying NPCs. That way, the characters will be put in a dangerous situation. As a result, they will get an epic battle with enemies, which Jax lacked so much at the end of the adventure in the 2nd episode. The older NPCs will become the protagonist's opponents in the arena. Given that the main characters are definitely impossible to kill, this adventure will be reminiscent of laser tag or paintball. I think Caine can definitely control the minds of the NPCs, including their memories. If you load the memory of NPCs in a certain state into this adventure, every NPC we've already met will try to kill the protagonists. Queen Gloink and her children should be very angry with the protagonists if Caine lets them remember that the circus team, along with the abstracted Kaufmo, completely destroyed their lair. In fact, Queen Gloink is a very dangerous opponent for the main characters. In Pilot, she was defeated not by the heroes, but by the abstracted Kaufmo. If we think back to episode 4, Queen Gloink swallowed all the mannequins in line to place an order in a couple seconds. The Gloinks took Zubul apart in a couple seconds. Defeating only these enemies will not be easy. In addition to them, the characters are waiting for a confrontation with all the inhabitants of the Candy Kingdom. In this case, Caine does not even need to erase the memory of these NPCs to start the battle. In the 2nd episode, they accepted the main characters as heroes sent by a god in the person of Caine. They ended up delivering a tankard of maple syrup back to the Candy Kingdom, but it doesn't matter. Jax let Fudge through the gate. This caused a lot of casualties among the people of the Candy Kingdom anyway, and ruined all of their resource supplies. Caine will only have to try his best to get Fudge to attack the main characters. It's not that hard to do though. To do this, Caine has to make the characters look like the inhabitants of Candy Canyon, which are made up of candy. Next up are Gummigoo and his friends Max and Chad. I don't think defeating them will be too difficult a task for the main characters. Caine will definitely think of something to make the battle with them more difficult. Over at Tumblr, Gooseworks gave us one of the phrases that applies to episode 6. You made a whole guy for that? This phrase lets us know that in the 6th episode, there will be completely new NPCs, in addition to the ones we already know. My theory is that we will see significantly more of the jelly crocodiles in episode 6. I believe that their location, the jelly crocodile village where Gummigoo and his friends came from, already exists and we've already seen it, though we don't realize it. Do you remember the picture of Kinger riding a bull? We saw it at the end of episode 4 when Caine was summarizing the day's work for each character. All around we can see a deserted location in Western style, which looks like a village of the Wild West times. By the way, this idea was clearly Caine's. In episode 3, at the end of his psychotherapy with Zubul, he mentioned the Wild West.
And now I'm just starting to wonder if the Wild West was even a real direction at all.
I think there are other jelly crocodiles and Gummigoo's mother already living in that village. From what he said, she is an experienced warrior. Gummigoo's mom taught him everything he knows. I think that Gummigoo's mom and the rest of the jelly crocodiles will take part in a battle with the main characters along with Gummigoo and his friends. This battle will be especially hard for Pomni, because she doesn't want to hurt Gummigoo. She'll have to make a difficult choice between the rest of the people in the circus and a very attractive but fake persona. To set up the battle, Caine only needs to roll back the state of Gummigoo's memory to the moment when he has not yet had time to meet Pomni. But the main characters have already managed to start chasing them on a battle truck. Dangerous adversaries will be NPCs from episode 3. Ghosts like Martha Mildenhall and Ghostly can take on the life of one of the main characters, or they can sneak up on you and strike. Plus, they'll probably be able to walk through walls and ambush the main characters. Furthermore, I think Pomni and Kinger's enemies from episode 3 will also be involved. The characters will have to fight an angel again, as well as hold their breath to keep the ghosts from hell from taking control of the characters' bodies. I think for such a battle this time around, Baron Mildenhall's body will also come to life, to set up a battle between the ghosts and the characters. Caine needs to roll back Martha Mildenhall's memory to when Jax was trying to vacuum up all the ghosts. I believe that fighting our heroes will be NPCs from episode 4. I'm talking about Orbsman, who has an unusual body structure. Also, he has an advantage over the main characters. He is taller and looks stronger than them. Also, the main villain from the adventure that Caine planned may enter the battle, Curse of the Mad Psychopathic Butcher. This adventure was originally intended to be a horror and battle adventure, so the Butcher will be able to cause a lot of trouble for the characters. What do you think about it? What kind of adventure does Jax want to see? What new NPCs will appear in episode 6? Write your thoughts and theories in the comments. Remember that I read all comments under my videos. The best comments will make it into the new videos. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Good luck everyone and bye-bye.